Yeah, here with Stefan Struve, set to fight LeVar Johnson on Saturday, UFC 146. Stefan, you mentioned in the press conference that by the time you're done, you like to have at least 50 or 60 fights.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm 24, and this is gonna be my 11th for the UFC. So if I keep going the way I'm going right now, it might happen. So.
I noticed also too that a lot of the media kept on asking you, are you going to submit them or whatnot? But in your last fights, you've been pretty good at knocking out some of the fighters. Do you think they haven't watched the fights and they're just looking at how you look in paper? Because you look really good in paper and submissions.
I think they paid a little too much attention to his last two fights and haven't watched a lot of his fights before that. He looked really good in his last two, but fact is he fought two guys who matched up really well with him, who haven't gotten really good takedowns or ground game at all, and they just stood with him, and then he's good. So he got him, and they made a couple mistakes. He got 2 wins, 2 KO the night bonuses, and that's impressive. But now he's fighting, in my opinion, the best guy he's ever fought. So, he knows that if I take him down, he's done. And I think, he knows that I'm not going to, just stand with my back to the cage too. I think he knows that I'm going to counter. So.
And also talking about that, you were set to fight Mark 7 days ago. You find out that now you're fighting LeVar Johnson, who just got off of a fight 3 weeks ago. How does that, your game plan, has that changed, even your camp?
There wasn't much to change in training. Training was pretty much done. I was already back to training once a day instead of twice. So, maybe a little bit, we changed a couple things in the game plan, but for the rest, I had a really good training camp, and I'm ready for whatever, whenever, so.
Yeah, I think it was kind of hard to, they had asked him, have you ever gone against, even during practice, a guy at your height? He said no. Do you think he might have a hard time adapting to your height?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big problem for him. He's really good at, going after guys that are a lot smaller than him, and the last two guys he fought in the UFC were a lot smaller than him too. And I think he's gonna have a huge problem with dealing with my reach if I use it the way I can and the way I should. He's not even touching me. So.
And you said you learned how to use your reach more, right?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it. And I'm still growing and getting bigger and stronger. And if you're 6'11" and 220 pounds, it's hard to keep guys that big off you. But I'm 260 right now. I'm getting a lot of power in my punches and kicks, and if I hit someone, they're like, whoa, let's not get that done again. So yeah, I'm getting better at it, and I plan to prove that tomorrow again.
It's funny, also too, we were just referring to your reach. It seems as though you grew half an inch. You're now 6'11" and a half, and your reach also is what, 84?
84 and a half.
Yeah. So now you're tied with John Jones, right?
Yeah, in reach, but I think my arms are longer than his, so I think that's what matters most when you talk about reach and height, so, but yeah, it's a fun fact, people really liked it, and for me, it doesn't really matter much, I'm ready to fight, and I'm gonna use it, and he's not gonna like it when I use it the way I can, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be plus you're as tall as you are, you have a great submission game. You're learning to use your striking now, and just saying all that, you have great cardio too. You're like a deadly force.
Yeah, that's the way we see it too. I got cardio for I can go 10 5-minute rounds in my opinion. The way we train. And at weight, we don't want to do it too fast. I just go at it in training, and in my opinion, my conditioning is one of the best in the heavyweight division. And if you combine that with my ground game and the striking I've been showing in the last couple fights, I think you got a big problem if you're fighting me right now. So.
Yeah, big problem. So how does it feel to you to be part of history? It's the first UFC heavyweight bout card. How does that feel that you're part of that?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You see really he's making history here. You see, I was here last year, and there's a lot more fans here, and they got a ton of fighters over to watch the fights. And people are really talking about this as one of the biggest cards in history of the UFC. So, I think a lot of people are looking forward to it, and so am I. I'm happy that I'm opening the main card, get it over with quick, and start it with a bang. That's the plan, so.
And you also mentioned a lot of people flew in over here to support you, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of Dutch people, so that's kind of cool. So there's gonna be a lot of cheering for me, and I'm looking forward for the weigh-ins too. I noticed that I get more fans every time I fight. So I think it's gonna be loud, and I hope it's gonna be loud today. Just give me a good feeling to just deliver another war tomorrow.
And you know, it's kind of funny that just walking over here, you were getting swarmed by people just trying
Yeah.
to take pictures. Is that new, or has it always been like that?
No, it has always been like that, but you know, this time it's what I said. There's a lot more fans. You know, people are coming from everywhere, and there's a lot of people. You know, you don't even expect it from the. You know, where we from in Holland. There's not. You know, the fan base for MMA isn't that big, so you know, you see people you wouldn't think are MMA fans coming at you and taking pics with children and everything. So it's cool. It's awesome.
That's good. You have a good fan base too, and we really hope you do win this Saturday. And if you do, where do you think that's going to put you in the heavyweight division?
Oh, we'll see. You know, I take it fight by fight, and we'll see what the UFC thinks after this fight. I just want the next guy on the ladder, and I'll just try to keep on winning my fights. And you know, I'm not gonna shout out for a title shot or whatever. You know, there's no rush with that. I just want to keep on winning my fights, and then you know, the fans and the media and whatever will start to talk about that by itself. You know, I've been getting a lot of questions, so. About you know a potential title shot, so I think I'm on the right way. But you know I need a couple more wins in my opinion. So
Yeah, you're so young. You're really young, and you have like a really great resume. So we wish you luck. We really hope you do win.
I appreciate it. Thanks.